Doing fellas, it's your boy Densuo, aka the saltiest guy in all of Gundam, coming here with a review slash rant about the Gym Sniper 2. It is a suit that I do like. Lore-wise, this suit should actually be very good, but unfortunately in this game, in my opinion, it's not very good. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's look at it through here, I guess, first. So the Gym Sniper 2 comes in at a total of 3 different costs: 400, 450, and 500. And like I mentioned previously, in my opinion, this suit is outclassed, unfortunately. I do like the suit. I genuinely do like the suit. It is from War in the Pocket, which is my personal favorite anime. But whether I love that series or that anime or not, that doesn't mean I can just blindly say, hey, yeah, use it. This suit's great. It has clear weaknesses. So we're going to go ahead and go over them and why I feel that this suit is strictly if it's a suit that you genuinely like. If you really do like the suit, hey, I'm not going to stop you. You know, for all intents and purposes, I hope you master the suit and, you know, you prove me wrong. But we're going to go over what it has, its strengths and weaknesses, and also what I consider an off build for the suit, which I think it's actually pretty good for it. So, without further ado, let's get started. The Gym Sniper 2 at level 1 is a 400 cost suit. This suit is usable in ground, in space. It is a support class, as you can see. It does not have any compatibility for neither ground or space, which also hurts it. The 1 and 2 can be purchased in the DP shop. The level 3 is in the gacha. I'm not sure why, given how weak it is, in my opinion. But it does sport a whopping 15 to 19 long-range slots. Has 10, 11, and 12 for medium, and then 3, 4, and 5 for close range. If we look at the skills, I believe wrong suit. If we look at the skills, I believe they're the same across the board. You have level 3 high performance radar, which makes your radar 450 meters. High performance scope level 3, which gives you ×6 zoom. Observational data link, so that your team can see the HP of enemies that are in your radar. I believe it also counts as long as they're in the radar period, be it yours or theirs. I believe they can see it. Frontline support system level 2. This shortens the respawn for everybody by 10%, and this also stacks. So the more people that have this skill, the better. This is a rare suit in the mid to high cost that has personnel radar, so that is something nice. This is great in the event that you need to spot someone that is trying to capture a point or potentially bomb your base. You know, one of those situations where the opponent tries to be slick and escape when they're about to lose their suit. So this is actually kind of nice. This is also compounded by the fact that the Gym Sniper 2 can do something about it because it does have grenades. So it's at least good at taking out people trying to be slick when they're out of their suit. Leg shock absorber, whenever you land from a jump or when you stop boosting, it does lower the amount of load that you get by 20% from a jump, 10% after boosting, and it also lowers the recovery time by 1% when you're recovering from doing, you know, the gray damage per se. Whenever you do a boost on your legs, that's not bad. You do have quick boost, which reduces charge time by 20% when jumping. This is actually nice, so that when you do snipe with this suit, it makes it easier for you to get into position. That's actually really cool. You also have high performance aerospace gimbal, which is a shared skill among, I believe, all supports that are space capable. This lets you look higher or lower as far as as far as angle, whenever you're in space specifically. This is really useful in general because it basically just enhances your range, or rather, you know, the angles at which you can hit somebody at. This is actually really good in space because you can be really high up and you'll be able to shoot people at an angle that they will not be able to get you at. It's just unfortunate that this suit doesn't have head Vulcans, which would really be a godsend for it with this skill. Last but not least, you have High Performance Balancer. So High Performance Balancer, after you jump or do a boost, or should be while you're doing them, you can actually cancel the recovery animation into a melee or a tackle. This suit is level 1 in melee priority, and it also does not have combo controller. So what that means is if somebody lands a stagger, you can go ahead and land a downswing with your melee. So it's not exactly highly common, but it is there as a self-defense option. If we check here, looks like it's the same. Level 2 leg shock, level 1, level 2 quick boost. Yep, it's all the same for the level 1 and level 2. Let me see if the level 3 has anything different. Level 3 personal radar. Okay, no, same thing. Yeah, same things across the same skills across the board. So you do have the same skills across the board for the level 1, the level 2, and the level 3. So that covers that. We're gonna go and talk about the weapons now. And we're also going to talk about the off build. So let's go ahead and look at it with a plain thing first. This is how it looks. You have 13k HP. Ballistic defense and beam resistance are the same at 18. You have 6 in terms of melee resistance. You have 38 range, 2 melee, 120 move speed, which is okay. 155 top speed for boosting, which is eh. Thrusters 55, which is again eh. And then turn speed, which is 54, which is not exactly great, and then it's also slowed down because you do have a shield. I'm going to an empty slot for this too. And same for the level 3. So the level 2 gets a 1,000 more HP, and then 2 defense across the board. Gets 3 attack and range, and gains 2 in melee. Movement speed, boost speed, thruster, and turning speed all stay the same. And then it gets 2 more again for defenses, 3 more again for range, 2 more for melee, and another 1,000 HP. Now, let's talk about the weapons. Beam Saber, it does have access to the late model. This is of course comes default if you get the suit. These are gacha only, but we're not really gonna melee with this suit, so you know. You have the sniper rifle, 75mm. Weapon is gacha only, I believe. Let me check. Nope, level 2 is in the store. Level 3 is gacha only. You do have access to the beam gun, but this beam gun sucks compared to the beam spray gun. You know, it's 50% heat, so you're only going to be able to fire it 3 times before it overheats. So you have to be patient with it. It does have a range of 300, which does increase per level. And it does have pretty decent damage, but given its rate of fire, I'm not really feeling it. For the sniper rifle, it does hit pretty hard at 16k, 1760, and then 1920. It's got great range. Dímelo, Eury, ¿cómo estamos? For the for the sniper rifle, it's good range, and it's 4 seconds per shot. But the glaring problem with this weapon is that reload of 15 seconds. And this is compounded because you have the grenade as your only other sub-weapon. This gets even worse when you look at the reloaders. If you look at the reloaders, right? If you put reloaders on it, you can't use the level 4, so not enough slots. You can use the level 3. The level 1 cannot use the level 2 reloader unless you have the slots, the complex expansion slots open through tuning. And then you have the level 1 quick loader, which you can also use. Hey Victor, how you doing? Good to see you guys are doing good, man. Good to see you guys are okay, especially given all the shenanigans with this stupid virus. If we look at the level 2, let me just use the level 2 for an example, because the level 2 I believe can fit them. Yeah, the level 2 can fit them. If you use all 3 loaders, you're only going to lower the cooldown of the reload by 2.8 seconds. So you're still technically useless for that exact. It's too long. 12 to 15 seconds of you not doing anything and throwing some grenades. and the grenades aren't exactly easy to use in this game. This isn't like, let's say, Call of Duty, where you can cook grenades or you can place them pretty precisely. There's a lot of lag between, when you use this weapon. The grenade, like I mentioned before, does have good damage also. The range is whatever, because you can of course change it by looking upwards and getting farther distance on it. But it still also has a pretty sizable reload, but it should at least last you long enough to get your reload off and then do whatever. The shield is really good. The shield has very good coverage. Just be aware, just like typical for shields, they do slow you down when you have it equipped. It's got pretty good health at 33k health. I'm sorry, 3300 health, excuse me. But instead of sniping with a suit called a sniper, what I actually like to do is actually run it with a machine gun. If you run it with a machine gun, here's what happens. One, instead of you risking yourself being out of position and alone by trying to snipe, you have a machine gun that has a 4-second reload. The weapon increases in ammo as you use higher ones. And because of that fast reload, you don't have to worry about reloaders. You're a support and you're mainly fighting generals, so you have class advantage, so you're going to be dealing damage with it pretty quickly. And since you're a support, you're building damage anyway because you're fighting mostly generals again, so you building damage makes perfect sense. And since you're going to be fighting closer to your generals, it'll be easier for them to generals for not protecting you from that raid that somehow still waited in between them all to beat the living daylights out of you. Because, people in this game are bad. So this is what I run on the level 1 with the machine gun. You don't really need this, but I mean, it's kind of got slots to spare, so whatever. I guess you could change that out when you get the slots for the level 1, which you actually access it pretty quickly. We're going to talk about that in a second, actually. You can replace this with more HP. I believe it's the level 2 HP piece. Let me see, strength and frame level 2, I believe it is. Yeah, you can use strength and frame level 2 or the strength and frame level 3, and that'll give you a little bit of HP. It'll give you a 700 HP. You can use that. So, and then also when you get the slots, you'll be able to change out the thruster control level 1 for the level 2, and then you're also going to have one more slot open here. No, wait, you're also going to have a medium slot. So you're going to have a total of 3 in the bottom and then 1 in medium. So for defense, you can actually use the level 3 strength and frame and get 700 bonus HP. Or you can choose to go with the strength and frame level 2 to get 500 HP, and then use all your slots that are available and slap on a little bonus 400 shield HP. It's not that big of a deal. So with the level 2, pretty much the same thing as what I do there, but instead I use the field motor, so you can increase your turning speed. You already got the thruster control system too, and then this is the kicker. Since you don't need to use reloaders on this suit, that gives you space to use the anti-melee armor. Everybody and their mom in this game, except for supports, are going to be doing melee damage, and melee damage hurts in this game. It doesn't matter if it's against type advantage or with type advantage, it's going to hurt. So this suit only has 6, 8, 10 melee defense. So God help you if a raid catches you, and even then a melee focused general is still going to be able to hurt you. So that's going to go a long way in protecting you. And then with the level 3, same deal. I run the same thing: anti-melee armor, thruster piece level 2, field motor, and instead of using BS HP, which I don't really need, I slap on another melee armor. If you want to, no, you're not going to be able to fit the level 2 melee, even if you drop this to thruster 1, so never mind that. So honestly, just go with the machine gun strat when it comes to this suit. Like, I'll even show you right now, because this is right here. This has 68 attack with this. This is a 500 cost suit, so let me just show you in practice. It's gonna add up. Whoops. Silly me. That's just the right one. This is the level 3. Yeah, it is. So there's also one other thing I wanted to talk about that you're gonna have as an advantage with the support using a machine gun like the Gym Sniper 2. If you crouch, you're gonna get a damage boost. And the commando shield has really good coverage. So you can crouch like this, and if your angle's good, you can protect yourself with that shield. Same thing here, if someone's trying to flank you, you can kind of get a little more coverage with it too, but you're probably better just crouching. But there's one more thing that's great with the bullpup. Look at your reticle. You have a really big ASL with this suit. So you don't even have to look at them. Once the enemy suit's sensor mast is within the reticle, you're basically hitting them. So that covers the other weakness of the Gym Sniper 2 and most supports, the bad turn speed. Most supports have bad turn speed, so you can just be here. And you can just keep aiming at them. You won't even have to. I mean, granted, the field motor helps as it is, but if you're fighting a raid that's really, really fast, or a general that's really, really fast, like GP01, that ASL is going to help you. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to be able to deal. You're going to be able to deal constant damage with this and pressure with it. I hit the shield a couple of times. So 2 clips is going to kill an equal cost suit with this weapon. You're going to reload fast as hell. The Gym Sniper 2 does have a decent walk speed for a support. So that helps. You're going to get a stagger off a clip. So that's that. You're not really dealing as much damage on a raid, of course, because of the type advantage or type disadvantage, whatever. But if you're smart about it, you can basically use this suit to keep moving, and you'll be able to harass with it. And if they're ignoring you, then that's on them. They're gonna get staggered, and your team is gonna kill them. Like I said, you're taking about half on this suit. What suit is this anyway? Yeah, this is a base Gundam actually. So, like I said, you're gonna kill somebody with this, plain and simple. And if you're not getting a kill with it, you're gonna be dealing sizable. You're definitely gonna be, dealing sizable damage, or at least forcing a stagger. So you're going to be dealing plenty of damage with it. The only thing is, of course, remember, you don't have maneuver armor, you don't have dodge roll. So make sure you're staying directly behind your teammates. And the other benefit too about using the bullpup is you're probably not going to be staggering your teammate with that weapon. And if you really have to, we do have grenades that you can throw. So there's that. If you get the hang of them, they're good, but they're not exactly easy to use. And even then, the spread isn't that bad. And even on class neutral, you're still going to be dealing a pretty good amount of damage. The other thing too is that at this cost, most people are using beam weapons, so some suits may be packing extra beam defenses. And since this suit uses solid weapons, well, there you go. You're going to probably be dealing more damage than they're expecting because they're probably not prepared to handle beam, ballistic weapons. So you can definitely consider that. Like I said, the Gym Sniper 2 does have respectable movement speed. Even with the shield, it moves pretty well. So you can definitely consider that. Just remember, stay behind your generals. Let them do the tanking for you. And it's going to be a lot safer for you to go ahead and deal damage with it. Let me see, what are the costs today? 350, 650. I'm definitely not using a 500 in that cost. So there goes that idea. So definitely give that a shot. Like I said, if you want to use a sniper rifle, you can. Well, let me at least show the sniper rifle too. Let me not just say, hey, just go bullpup, dirt. Let me use both as an example. No point otherwise, right? Okay, they haven't come up with the water version yet. That's unfortunate. If you're accurate with this weapon, though, like if you're really feeling yourself, these are gonna put a hurting on people. But again, remember, the reload isn't all that great. It's 13.1 seconds on a reload with reload level 3 and level 1, compared to 15 seconds flat. Or if you go with all three, going to be 12.1 seconds. So it's really not that huge of a difference. But if you're going to be reloading a lot, I mean every reload counts. It's just that if you're looking at it this way, let's say this, let's round it up, 3 seconds, right, out of 15 seconds. So every 5 reloads, you're getting a free reload out of it. So it does add up. But that means you'd have to arguably get that many reloads to really get the most benefit out of it. And again, it's still the problem is that this weapon just takes too long, in my opinion. You'll see what I mean. So, you gotta remember, this thing has no blast radius. So you're gonna have this happen to you a lot when you're aiming for the legs. Maybe I'm just unlucky, but it happens to me way too often. That said, if you're gonna use your sniper rifle, remember to crouch, remember to scope in. And when you're scoping in, stay scoped until you hit. Because if you zoom out, if you remove zoom while you're shooting, then and they hit after you get out of zoom, it doesn't count as getting the bonus damage. You do stagger them every time you hit them with it, which is kind of nice. But again, you need to land all your shots to kill one general. And in this amount of time, I've probably killed them already if I was using a bullpup. So if you're looking to get kills or deal a lot of damage, you're just not gonna, you're gonna get more damage out of the bullpup. It's safer to use the sniper rifle, but the thing is, with this weapon, you're gonna be punished very hard if you're not accurate. Thing is though, this weapon, the other thing I will say that's good about this weapon though is the shot speed's really good, but then we have one more problem. A lot of times you're going to be playing Japanese players, so you're going to have a lot of instances where your weapon just doesn't hit. I find beam weapons to be more accurate in terms of not getting beat out by lag compared to solid weapons, so that's a bit of another frustration that I have with this suit. So the best way to use this suit and deal its damage with the sniper rifle is to wait until your partner lands a hit, and then while they're staggered, you pop in and hit them with an opportunist. Because while they're staggered, you're going to get those legs. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get a hit on those legs. And The other one, yeah, just like Kazamura says, the Gym Sniper 2 is a good support as the second support in 66 rooms. But, like I said, the main problem remains. The reload is it just takes too long. That's really it, the problem with it. The reload takes way too long. Grenades are unfortunately just clunky. Reach. About here. Nope, doesn't reach. So get good with the grenades if you're gonna be using the sniper rifle. That's really one thing I can say. If you're gonna use a sniper, you better get good with the grenades. But honestly, if you're gonna snipe, you're better off with a different suit altogether. So from there, I'm gonna give you, since I'm not restricted by time limits with the PS4, since I'm streaming through YouTube, we can also go into further details as far as alternates for this suit. Oh, hey, the date changed. Yeesh, this is the second time I make a video and I get caught by either forgetting I was offline or getting caught by date change. Man, I suck at this. Oh man, I'm off my game, man. One thing I will say with the Gym Sniper 2 though, and sniper suits in general, get closer. I mean, just because you have mad range doesn't mean you should be abusing the range completely. Because the thing is, on big maps, sure, you're gonna go ahead and, you know, be away from people, but that's not gonna stop a raid from still being able to go around and get you. And if that's the case, you're probably too far for your team to do anything about it. So you're gonna go ahead and call for help, and they're gonna be like, dude, you're like halfway across the map, you know, happy death, happy dying. You know, enjoy your respawn. So what's a comparison for the suit? You could just use the Gym Sniper White Dingo, hilariously enough. Gun tank cannon detector, 600 meters, so it's comparable. You could just use that. I mean, if you want to do one-offs for shots, you could just use the Gundam Unit 4. The Hyzak Custom is probably a better sniper because it has a 505 range on the beam sniper. You don't have to worry about reloads, you just have to worry about heat discipline. It has a machine gun for self-defense. Nowhere near as much damage, and it also has a longer reload, but it's still a self-defense option. It also has space compatibility, which the Gym Sniper 2 does not have. Gym Sniper 2 does have better skills to an extent. Granted, this suit has high spec AMBAC, which the Gym Sniper 2 doesn't have. But the Gym Sniper 2 does have Personnel Radar, which is again which is a great skill in my opinion. Very underrated, underappreciated. And this suit also does not have frontline support. So Gym Sniper 2 does help with respawns. That is another thing that's good about it. But ultimately, you also have this guy. And I'm sorry, but this suit dunks on so many other suits. They're both gotcha at the 500 cost range, but Mudrock is way too good. Mudrock is just a beast of a suit. So instead of the Gym Sniper 2 level 2, you can use the Mudrock level 1, which is available in the DP store. You can just use that. You can pick people up with the Goog Cannon and also defend yourself better in person. I don't like the Gilgoog ground type. I don't know. I kind of suck with it, but you can pick people up with the regular beam rifle. You can go stationary with the prototype beam rifle if you want to. It has self-defense options. At the 450 cost, it gets a little dicier because at that cost, the Mudrock is available, so that kind of just shafts you. The Hyzak Custom is also there. Granted, it is gacha only. If you want to, you can also run the Nemo. The Nemo has the 170mm cannon, which has more damage, comparable reload, a little less range, but still a range that you can take advantage of. For example, in Tropical Desert, you can run the reloaders on it. It also has much better top speed. Has high spec ambag. So it's just like, why even bother? It also has a dodge roll. So it's kind of hard to recommend it, really. Heck, you can even use the Zuda F if you wanted to. The Nemo also has the Vulcan pod. Oh no, the head-mounted Vulcan, excuse me. So it has that for self-defense. Not only that, but it also has, just like Kazumura mentions here in the chat, the Nemo also has a better firing stance when you use the cannon. It does protect itself better with its shield. Speaking of which, the shield also has more HP. Yeah. So you can just use a general and not have that issue. You can also, let me see, I believe the Hyzak can do it too. No, never mind. There's the Hyzak Custom, excuse me. At 450, the Heavy Gundam is available also for the DP store. The Heavy Gundam has the beam cannon, which charges pretty fast, has good range, hits like a truck. The only thing that sucks about the Heavy Gundam is that it doesn't have a zoom option. It's also pretty much inferior when it comes to total skills. It does have high spec ambag, which makes it better in space. But, you know, the Gatling is pretty good. It has the Frame Launcher's missile pod for self-defense. Vulcans, you can back off and, you know, and defend yourself. And then the beam cannon is a pretty quick switch to and slam with this weapon. And if you do charge it up, ooh boy, I've hit Camphors with this suit on a charge shot, and I'm pretty sure I took well over half its HP, and I probably broke its legs when I did that. You also have the Gundam ground type weapon rack, which is a pretty solid suit. It's still a pretty solid suit in my opinion, even though the level 4 is gacha only. The gun cannon mass production type is a bit of a tough choice because it's very slow. So I wouldn't say that, but this is more of a traditional support. Right now I'm just talking about general comparisons. But if you want to talk about sniping specifically, you have the Gun Cannon 2, the Gundam ground type again. So it's just really hard for me to recommend the Gym Sniper 2. If you're gonna run the Gym Sniper 2, you're running it specifically because it's going to be faster than these other suits that I mentioned that are supports. It's gonna be faster because these are all in the 105 range when it comes to movement speed, and the Gym Sniper 2 has a significantly better 120 for turning speed. It does have better turning speed than all of them, especially the Gundam ground type weapon rack. That's 15, so I think that's a lie for this one. Okay, yes, it does have better turning speed than the Heavy Gundam also by default. Hyzak, it also is better than the Hyzak Custom. It is faster than the Hyzak Custom as well. So, like I said, I think personally the Gym Sniper 2 is better when it comes to being up close with a machine gun. I mean, the gun cannon mass production type is level 4 at this cost compared to the level 2. So that means it will get extra slots, but it's also significantly slower. The cannons here that it has are the same as the sniper rifle, because this is 6 shots because it fires 2. So it does have a lengthy reload on it, but at the same time, that's its main damage weapon. It can still defend itself with the bullpup, and it also has head Vulcans, so it can boost away and try to defend itself a little bit. So even though it is slower, when it comes to the ranged battle, it's going to do more than the Gym Sniper 2. You could use the twin machine guns, but those take too long to reload, and it also has, even though it does have more range, it does fire slower, and I just prefer the bullpup. The bullpup is just better. Let's not even beat around the bush when it comes to that. So that pretty much covers everything, I believe, with the Gym Sniper 2. It's not an awful, I mean, it's not an awful suit. At the end of the day, if you put in the time with it, it will pay off. It's just that I feel that it's because the sniper rifle is its only weapon. I think its reload time needs a reduction, because grenades aren't exactly easy to use, but it does have very high damage at 65 when you boost it up with the four damage mods. And I believe it's, let me see. I mean, you can do that with this. Yeah, it has more than the gun cannon mass production type. Let me see if it's the same thing here, since we're doing comparisons at this point. $58 out of 65 compared to 65. So, like I said, it has more. The heavy Gundam is comparable. So the heavy Gundam is the only one that's really going to be out damaging it. Especially if you're able to manage your reloads properly. The machine gun is a 15-second reload, which is long, just like the sniper rifle. But while it's reloading, you can boost away with your head Vulcans, and you can also protect yourself with the missile pod. So it's still able to do something while it's reloading, which is something that the Gym Sniper 2 cannot do. So that's where we go there. That's where we go from there. Overall, the suit's not bad, but, or excuse me, the suit's not terrible. But at the end of the day, I do have to say it. Overall, I do feel the suit is outclassed. You know, and it sucks because I do like the suit a lot. But, you know, it is what it is. This suit could do more damage, could get a little more damage out of it, but I do like running the focus ring on this suit because it needs it for the beam cannon, which is a must charge before firing. Even if it is a minimal reduction, it needs it anyway. But it's also much slower overall than the Gym Sniper 2. So, but it's at least, you know, but even then it has things to reward you for those deficiencies. So yeah, that covers everything on the Gym Sniper 2. Outclassed, but if you put the time into the suit and you got the balls to run the machine gun, you're gonna catch people off guard. If you stick with your team with this suit, you're gonna hurt people with it. Alright, that covers that. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the stream. I might switch to Twitch so that I can just stream and do dailies, or I'm gonna go outside and do my exercise, because exercise is good for you. Hope this was helpful, guys. See you out on the battlefield. See you on.